This episode is brought to you by Progressive.
Are you driving your car or doing the laundry right now? Podcasts go best when they're bundled with another activity, like Progressive home and auto policies. They're best when bundled too.
Having these two policies together makes insurance easier and could help you save. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average.
Quote a home and car bundle today at progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Hey, podcast listeners. Tired of ads barging into your favorite news podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy by downloading the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free news. That's amazon.com/ad-free news to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Welcome to the Intrazone Roadmap Pit Stop June 2023 edition. This is a bonus monthly show that answers that burning question in your mind. What's rolling out now for SharePoint and related technology in Microsoft 365? I'm Mark Cashman, Senior Product Manager at Microsoft, here to help set the ongoing record straight. This month, I grabbed a few key pieces of audio relevant to June releases and of interest to any Office 365 history buff, which, by the way, celebrated its 12th birthday on June 28th, 2023. So, a happy belated birthday, Office 365. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Office 365. Happy birthday to you, and many more. It was a big month for OneDrive, so I pulled audio of Jason Moore framing the essence of OneDrive in this era, plus much of what's to come. And beyond the breadth of birthdays and OneDrive innovation, we'll focus on everything that landed this month, a few related items, and the always fun teasers looking into next month. And to stay ahead, we're splicing in a bonus snippet of the conversation between Jeff Teper and his manager, Rajesh Jha, where they talked about the early days and decisions evolving BPOS to Office 365, happy birthday, to Microsoft 365. All worth sticking around for. It's an Office 365 birthday gift for you from us, and we hope that you enjoy it. So stick around till the end. Before we get into the features that began rolling out in June 2023, I'm excited to share some very related podcast news. That is, Sync Up is back. That's right. Don't sit down, sync up. This is the Microsoft pod all about OneDrive. The show is co-hosted by my peers and OneDrive product members, Stephen Rice and Arvind Mishra. It's a lot of fun and filled with topical information and insights direct from the product team. And they already have two nice new things to sink your teeth into. 2 episodes are already out. Episode number 1, Sync Up Revived, covers recent disclosures from the Microsoft 365 conference. And their second episode, A New Home for OneDrive, focuses on several updates, people and meeting views, simplified sharing, and the new Manage Access experience. I'm very excited for Stephen and Arvind, as I know how much fun and joy the Intrazone brings me. I'm all subscribed to be a Sync Up listener. You can too. Go to aka.ms/syncup. That's SYNCUP. Listen, subscribe. It is worth it. And right here, right now, we have a snippet of their show to share with you.
Here's the thing. I do have a funny question for you, Asan. Animals, as we know, can't talk. But if all animals could talk, which animal do you think would be the rudest animal to talk to?
Oh, absolutely. Squirrels.
Squirrels?
Yeah, they have to be.
Please tell us more. Why?
I don't know if you watched this Rick and Morty episode, but they have their own thing going on and they're probably planning
world domination.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure what I'm more disturbed by, Arvind, that like you came up with this question out of the blue, or that Ascend had an answer like ready to go. Like there was no thought involved. We didn't cut and come back to it. Like rudest animal, squirrel, done.
Squirrels are rude. I guess. I think they're cute.
Okay, you are all sunk up and ready for more sync up. So much syncing to do. Just think about it. Subscribe today at aka.ms/syncup. It is now time to head back to the Intrazone. Time to kick back, get informed about all the tech that rolled out in June 2023. To start, we're going to go right into employee engagement, that one-to-many area of innovation, features, updates, apps that help you communicate internally very broadly. The first one is mostly a notification, but also an awareness campaign of some of the things that you can do on SharePoint pages. And that is the Stream Classic web part is being retired, and we're bringing on board the new Stream on SharePoint web part. So this one is for you, those who add videos to SharePoint pages and news posts. Microsoft will retire the Stream Classic web part on August 15th, 2023, meaning that it will no longer be available for use after that date. But the updated Stream web part will display single and multiple videos on SharePoint pages with inline playback instead of popping you out to the Stream web app page. Whether you're showcasing a product demo, leadership updates, or an event recording, the updated Stream web part will elevate your video content with transcripts, closed captions, search, chapters, and variable speed. All the beauty and innovation that you expect when you go to a Stream-powered page in the web app brought to you in your own SharePoint pages and SharePoint news. You'll find it easier to stunning video pages that captivate your audience. There's a couple good links to learn about the transition and, of course, about the web part itself. So sticking with video sharing, that theme, the next roadmap item is playlist view in the SharePoint list web part. After you create a playlist, which is a new, easy-to-use list template that enables you to present collections of audio and video files in one nice experience, you can either share it as is, just the playlist, or now, using the list web part on a SharePoint page or news article with the playlists intact, you can now show all of the richness of the audio and video in the context of other content on the page. So imagine a quarterly review with the Teams meeting recordings or several recordings possibly over the course of a day or multiple weeks, with various segments and, of course, various readouts from the different team members. These are all playable in sequence as you align them in the playlist, and you can put them alongside an embedded PowerPoint from the meeting, any meeting notes, links to relevant sites and people, and more. It's a very rich offering to create the page as a mini dashboard, with now having that playlist view in the list web parts as a key component. The audio and the video will play back without leaving the page, and everything on the page looks great across devices. There's, of course, a lot of information in a blog to read more about this, and I'll have a fun tweet from one of our community members to showcase how they are using it. Last employee experience item, you can create a distinct experience in Viva Connections for different audiences from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. It's now in your admin hands to create and manage multiple connections experience and home sites targeted to specific audiences. This feature is ideal for subsidiaries and conglomerates that want to provide distinct audience-targeted experiences with relevant and personalized information, resources, and apps to their employees. A reminder, you must be a global admin or a SharePoint admin with permissions to access the Microsoft 365 Admin Center to set up and configure this. And once you've designed and deployed your multiple experiences, multiple connections experiences, this will give you that greater flexibility in how you highlight your highest level intranet site and how it shows up to each individual community internally for what you want to provide to them and what they expect in their role or their region. Again, a lot of information on how to set this up as an admin so that you can learn more. Now, as a segue into teamwork, I want to play a snippet of audio from the recent Microsoft 365 conference. Here, you're going to hear Jason Moore, Vice President of Microsoft Lists and OneDrive, talking about the new value coming to the OneDrive home experience. While Jason walks through things to help you visually with screenshots, you can also review the official OneDrive announcement blog from May 2023. Just go to your browser and type in aka.ms/m365/May2/OneDrive. I will pause for a moment so you can bring up that blog post, get it in front of you before we listen to Jason. And here's Jason from the keynote stage.
All right, let's switch gears. We'll talk a little bit about OneDrive. Before I dive in too much to the feature side of it, it's actually worth noting in 2017, we introduced the new OneDrive web experience. We were really proud of it. It served us really well. But 2017 is kind of long ago, if you think about it. That's like 6 years ago. So we think it's time for a refresh. Introducing the new OneDrive web experience. You've noticed that we've kind of taken a step back to really think about what is the essence of OneDrive, and we've pared down the experience to simplify it as much as possible. There's a lot less geometry on screen, typography has been completely overturned, and it's much more legible. It's easy to flow and follow through. Our views, like lists and tiles, are now updated so that they feel that much easier, and we know they're that much faster to find the right content. And we're adding personalization to the experience. So when you create a folder, or on any folder you already have, you can set the color as well as the name, making it easier to wayfind through that experience the way you want to. This is one of my personal favorite features, so I hope you're gonna like it. Now, I had to show the visuals because most of everything else I'm gonna show you is in the context of those visuals, and I didn't want everyone to be distracted with the visuals while we talked about the new features. Well, let's go through those. In our new OneDrive home experience, we're adding AI file recommendations that are designed to bring the right file at the right time, right to your fingertips. And as part of that, we're also bringing in the full recent view. So it's really easy to get back to that content you were just working on, whether it was yesterday, a week ago, a month ago. With our filter pills, which you'll notice throughout the experience, it's easy also to filter down and just get to that thing. I know it was a PDF, let me go find that. Or with the word wheel, you can type down and get to those files that you needed to work with. Of course, not everything is recent, not everything is thought of that way. There are different ways people go and access or find their content. One of the most important ones in OneDrive is the people view, now completely overhauled in a new visual style that emphasizes rich kind of content showing through. It's easier to find the right PowerPoint or right document type in it, but it also brings in those same filter controls. So as soon as you've learned to use OneDrive, it applies everywhere. I filtered down here to Lydia, and because I work with her a lot, I can pin her. Whenever I come back to the people experience, I'm gonna see Lydia right at the top there. And if, like me, you work with folks who maybe share a lot with you, those same filter controls show up again to make it easy to find that right one file you wanted to work with. The overall experience of wayfinding by the people that you work with and engage with is that much easier to do. And if you think that way, it's a really powerful tool. So Meetings View is another new view we're introducing here that includes both upcoming meetings as well as past meetings. Whether they're recurring and maybe I need to get back to a recording of a meeting I missed, or a file was presented or shared in that meeting, it'll show up right in line on that meeting. It's really easy to get back to content based on my calendar. Of course, I may be planning ahead. There may be a meeting that's coming up that I need to work with something. I need to do some pre-reading or perhaps create the prep myself. With the upcoming meetings right in line there, it's easy to get in and engage with all of that content. We think this will be a really useful way for folks to really kind of work through the things that are coming up. All of this gives you this kind of custom experience around working with your content. Even things like being able to show you the task that you have to do on that document. So instead of just opening a document, I'm going right to the comment that's been assigned to me. I can reply to that, send it off, and I'm done. I can go to my next task and do my next work. In and out, as fast as possible.
One of the things you heard Jason touch on was the OneDrive Home update. So let me drill into that a little bit more. This new home experience for work and school accounts lets you swiftly retrieve your important files no matter where they reside within your organization. And this past month, the two areas of focus in the OneDrive Home update were the recent view and a focus on boosting efficiency. The recent view in OneDrive Home displays all the files you've recently opened or used, regardless of whether the file is stored in your OneDrive, shared with you by a colleague, or stored in a SharePoint shared space. Now, you wouldn't need to go searching for multiple locations to get back to the files because you're going to find it all in that central location, the OneDrive Home. And in the recent view, if you want to quickly share or favorite a file, you can do that easily. If you're looking to get back to a specific file, you can apply quick filters to the recent view. So you can filter by file type, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF. You can also see the file activities such as comments, shares, edits, and views, giving you an at-a-glance way to catch up on what's happened in a document since you last opened it. The OneDrive telemetry team observed a boost in efficiency when it comes to finding and accessing your files. Their data shows that over 50% of files opened from home happen within 10 seconds of visiting OneDrive. And in comparison, just 32% of files are opened within 10 seconds in the My Files view, which displays a common list of files and folders as you organize them. We've observed an 8.5 increase in the number of users interacting with shared content. So get back to recent, get boosted. There's a lot more coming in this space in the coming months. I hope you enjoy what's here now, and of course, get ready for what's to come. Last, for teamwork, the tasks in Microsoft Loop components will start syncing with Planner and To Do. So with this change, all tasks created in these lists will automatically sync and be visible in Planner, and assigned tasks will show up in To Do in the Assigned to Me Smart List. These tasks will also be visible in all apps that show Planner and To Do, such as the Tasks app in Microsoft Teams. As tasks are added or completed, the updates stay in sync across all the places the task list was shared, no matter where the edits are being completed. So, sign a task, get a task assigned, complete a task, stay in sync with your team as you get things done. All right, let us move to related technology. The first one is really an awareness campaign. It is to help you get ready for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Whether or not you're participating in the Microsoft 365 Copilot Early Access program, there are a few steps that you can take to start getting ready to help your organization get prepared for such experiences in the future. For example, you can learn more about getting your data prepared and how to detect and prevent oversharing. There's new technical content available to help you learn more and answer some of the common questions that you might have about how Copilot works, as well as about the privacy and security of your data, so that you can review and prepare both to answer your own questions and answer those questions that anybody in your organization might have. You can learn more about getting your data prepared for Copilot and how to detect and prevent oversharing by watching a video that I'll have a link in the show notes. And there's a lot more to learn about the Microsoft 365 Copilot in a blog that I'll also reference. Next, in the related technology beyond Copilot is you being your own task-oriented Copilot. That is Microsoft To Do and Apple Watch innovation. First, there was speech to text. And now there is speech to task. This is a simple and useful one. I just used it to add a task for myself to add Microsoft To Do plus Apple Watch for the Interzone Roadmap Pit Stop June 2023. Very convenient and very meta. But make sure that your To Do is up to date on your iOS device, and then look for the To Do app in the list of your apps on your Apple Watch. It's an easy one to learn, it's an easy one to try, and from a flick of the wrist and to a speech to task, you'll be on your way in no time. These two last related items come from our community. First is a new book offering. This is titled Office 365 with SharePoint Online Cookbook Solutions, Maximizing Your Productivity with Office 365 and SharePoint Online. This was published June 16th, 2023 by Alex Pollard. And according to Alex's book abstract, quote, you'll get to grips with enabling workspace collaboration using Microsoft, SharePoint, Teams, and Power Platform. From what I can tell, this provides instructions for implementing Microsoft 365 apps that are based on Alex's valuable insights. He's a Microsoft consultant with vast experience working with the full Microsoft Business Suite, which includes a lot of information oriented around you being able to build solutions with SharePoint, Teams, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and more. I encourage you to give Alex's book a look and see if it can help you maximize your productivity within Microsoft Office 365. Happy birthday. And last, a shout out and congrats to Sam Bridegroom. He's a global administrator and Microsoft 365 advocate at the financial solutions firm Allied Solutions. Sam and team, including Kara Seward, Aaron Eric, Josh Laitman, Casey Sanchez, and Becky Domland, they won several awards for their SharePoint-based intranet and introduced to Allied Solutions employees back in June 2022, what they named My Allied. I'll put links to both award recognition write-ups in the show notes, and I wanted to share a few of the details of what they did and what they accomplished. The focus of V1 sought to improve security, democratize site and content creation, improve search and reporting, and to establish their intranet on SharePoint in Microsoft 365 with bidirectional engagement between employees and company leaders, ultimately moving beyond their previous intranet content management system that was losing functionality as web browsers advanced. And to be more impressive and to be more comprehensive for you to see what they're up to, since June 2022, they have added Viva Connections that brings the intranet to their Teams desktop and mobile clients. They've expanded the use of Viva Engage to further their communication strategy. They're exploring the use of Power BI content in SharePoint and Teams to improve access to business data. And a very timely statement, they are eager to use the new Stream web part that I mentioned earlier to more seamlessly integrate video. And I'll end here with a quote from Alex in his own words. Quote, our intranet is 99% managed by our corporate communications team. Other than true admin tasks, the business runs it. We showed them around, helped them get started with the tools, and they've done some great things with them. We went from concept to operational in just a few months. So congratulations again to Alex and team, and I'll link to the awards that they received for their SharePoint-based My Allied intranet. Okay, let us peer into the future, one that predicts with very high certainty. Here are two teasers for what's coming in July 2023. Teaser number 1, Microsoft Lists User Experience Update. Now that sounds pretty straightforward, but this one will bring a lot of design refinement and performance improvements. Teaser number 2, Microsoft Viva Pulse, a new app. This is our feedback tool that empowers managers to get day-to-day feedback on projects and team dynamics. And that is it for this month's Peek Ahead. We'll share more details and other updates within the SharePoint Roadmap Pitstop July 2023 edition next month. Okay, you're all teased. Now it's bonus time. Time to reflect on a little history with Jeff Teper and his manager, Rajesh Jha, Executive Vice President of Microsoft Experiences and Devices, which includes Microsoft 365, Windows, Surface, Bing, and more. The audio that you'll hear comes from their Fireside chat from the Microsoft 365 conference keynote stage, talking about the customer journey to the cloud over the years. And here is Jeff and Rajesh.
So I want to take you way back. building one, and it really, we have 100 plus buildings on campus, but this meeting actually was in building one, where we got together every week.
A windowless office.
Yes, in a windowless conference room. I think it was against the fire code, with Dave Thompson and Perry Clark.
Yeah.
I'm 365 core leader today. We were working on what was BPOS S and D at that time.
Yep.
So if you can look back and just share with us your perspective, what was going on at that time in the journey since those early days of the cloud?
It's amazing to see how, I remember, Jeff, you and I were in, I think 10 years ago. I forget which conference it was. And then we asked the room there for a show of hands of how many people were considering moving to the cloud. And I think it was probably maybe 20%.
At best, yeah.
At best.
And then I think you said not now, but ever.
Yeah.
And maybe one or two more hands went up.
And then 2 years later, it was like 80% of the customers there, they said, hey, we are really interested in moving to the cloud. So the biggest thing for us, if you reflect, was there were two big questions for us. Question number one is, moving to the cloud, should we start over? Should we build something new, native to the cloud, but obviously incompatible with what customers were using today at that point? And we decided very much, no, we're going to give our customers and our partners full compatibility. So we're going to move what they are using today and move that to the cloud and not give them a choice of incompatible and new and compatible and on-prem. So that was a big decision. And it was not obvious at that point in time that you could take products that were built for enterprise scale and make it work for the internet scale. And it was incredibly hard to go do that. But the feedback loop from the community, the customers, and the direct accountability to our product teams for the quality of their service, that was a big part of it. The second one was, were customers ready? Did they trust that we would be able to deliver for them the security and the privacy and all the compliance? And that was just a journey for us to learn from our customers and our partners. What would it take to earn their trust? But I'm glad we went on that journey.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes hard to think back of the period where we're shipping every 3 years to now we're shipping all the time. Sort of another interesting moment, 2014, Satya becomes CEO.
Yep.
You join the SLT, working with Scott Guthrie, Satya and others. Microsoft's culture has changed a lot since when you and I just first joined it. Tell me about that and what organizations here can learn about culture and change management.
It was pretty interesting to see. Microsoft didn't fundamentally change in the 6 months before Satya to the 6 months after Satya. People were the same, our processes were the same, our businesses were the same, but the culture changed dramatically. And, the big thing that Satya brought to the table was two things, actually. I remember us, you were in that room too, where he looked at us product leaders and he said, I don't want you to take any credit for past work. I want you to be held accountable for building products that your customers and your partners value going forward. The fact that we make the money we make is because of the work that happened 5 years ago. So he held us directly accountable for being customer obsessed and measure that customer obsession in terms of our customers' engagement with our products. That was a big change. And the second big change was, let's not be know-it-all, let's be learn-it-all. And he's modeled that very much so. Yeah. So I think those are the two core elements. And it was amazing to see how that unlocked just so much in terms of the human capital that we had in the company, just being focused on customer outcomes.
And go cloud, past, present, and future. We've all come a long way, and always nice to hear perspectives from those that have strategized and cranked on it for decades with the right focus on customer outcomes year over year. To close out, I want to thank Jason Moore, Stephen Rice, and Arvind Mishra from SyncUp, and Jeff Teper and Rajesh Jha. Appreciate all their willingness to share via the Intrazone. We've added learn more links per feature, plus a list of important resources in the show notes and in the corresponding blog post, on the Microsoft tech community published to the SharePoint community blog. I hope you've enjoyed this roadmap pit stop. Enjoy getting back to your day now. It is time to relax knowing you're all caught up. If anything still leaves you scratching your head with open questions or concerns, please send us your thoughts and comments to theinterzone@microsoft.com. We're here to put our and your best change management foot forward. Thanks for taking your enterprise Fitbit steps with us into the cloud month after month. This is Mark Cashman saying, sink back and relax on the roadmap ahead.
It's better over here.
AT&T customers, switching to T-Mobile has never been easier. We'll pay off your existing phone and give you a new one free, all on America's largest 5G network. Visit T-Mobile.com/carrier freedom to switch today.
Pay off up to $650 via virtual prepaid MasterCard in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits plus tax. Qualifying port-in, trade-in service on Go 5G Next and credit required. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance and required finance agreement is due.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.